Christ Ahnsahnghong said that Heavenly Mother does not exist. Misusing Father's book. False claim of NCPCOG. In the book of Christ Ahnsahnghong, Explanation on the New Jerusalem and the Bride, and on Woman's Veil, it is written that there is no Heavenly Mother and that the bride is the saints. Countermeasure. Number 1. The book was withdrawn. Explanation on the New Jerusalem and the Bride, and on Woman's Veil, is not a truth book that Father left for our salvation. First, Father wrote the book in 1983, only to prove that Misusing is not the bride. The book was only for this reason, so Father recalled all the copies of this book later, which had been distributed to the members temporarily. If this book is a truth book that we must know for our salvation, why did Father recall the copies and discard them all? Second, Father himself testified in 1984 that our mother is the true bride. If Father truly thought there is no bride or spiritual mother, why did he testify about the bride later? This book was only to judge the false bride, Misusing, who claimed that she was the bride at that time. Therefore, it is against Father's will to argue that Heavenly Mother does not exist because of the book, without considering the fact that Father had recalled all the copies of the book and testified to the true bride, our Heavenly Mother, later. However, slanderers get this book from the NCPCOG who left the truth and use it as a tool to oppose our church. Number 2, they distort the true meaning by just using a portion of the truth, ignoring the whole history of our church. Opposers deliberately avoid explaining the whole situation and only take a portion of what Father said in order to deceive those who do not know the history of the Church of God. Let's see how ridiculous it is through some examples. Jesus once warned his disciples not to tell anyone that he is the Christ. Does that mean that the disciples were forbidden to preach about Jesus forever? Suppose that someone wrote only the words of Jesus, "Do not tell anyone that I am the Christ," without explaining the situation, and even recorded his voice on tape. Then he opposed Jesus' disciples who preached about Jesus, saying that Jesus did not want anybody to know that he is the Christ, and then showed them the writing and recording as evidence. Is this right? Never. Later, Jesus told his disciples to be his witnesses in all Judea and Samaria, and to the ends of the earth. Another time, Jesus said to Peter, "Get behind me, Satan." Does that mean we must not trust what Peter said since Jesus once called him Satan? Is that the true will of Jesus? Of course not. Later, Jesus asked Peter to take care of his sheep. Now the opposers only take a part of Father's words, which were given in a special situation, and argue against all the teachings that Father gave to us after that.